The Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast is a roundtable conversational podcast that gives a voice to the Black experience.
Millennials from New York City sharing our views on Black lifestyle, culture, relationships, religion, and current events.
Here at SR, we strive to give our listeners the real in a world of fake.
Worldly professionals with class that also know how to switch it up.
Now let's talk our wild shit.
What it do.
What up,
everybody?
tribe? Yes.
Peace and love, y'all.
Welcome to another episode of Sophisticatedly Ratchet, where we bring you the real in a world of fake.
Talk about
That's what we do there.
Welcome, tribe. Welcome,
Yep.
co-host.
Peace.
Which happened?
Tribe, if you know my voice, you know that I'm TJ, the unicorn Gemini. I bring duality to the podcast, and these mofos call me the Ice Queen because
Nor'easter.
I be
Chilly.
cold sometimes, but
All the time.
They know my intentions. They know my heart. Tribe, you know my heart.
It's icebox.
You get to answer right there,
My
Tribe.
heart used to
You
be.
get to hit the
Drop a
like button
comment,
right now
drop a
too. Yeah,
Put a
hit the like
snowflake in
button
the
right now.
comments.
Hit the share button right now. Hit the notifications button right now. Hit the follow button right now, wherever you're hearing us. And let me go ahead and introduce my handsome and beautiful co-host. I'm going to start with Flash, the
Oh my gosh.
philosopher.
Yes.
What
I'm
up,
gonna clap it
Flash? Beer gang.
What's good, y'all? Peace and love. It is your boy. Today, I've been feeling real like touchy-feely, so I'm gonna just say I am the masseuse for the caboose today.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I got. All right, it's your boy Flash the philosopher. It is he, it is me, it is I. What up?
What up?
Gang.
Next, I'm gonna take it over to my favorite fuckboy. Yes,
Talk
you
to him.
are. Yes,
to him,
you
man.
are. Hey, fuckboy,
Oh yeah, I should be clapping
You
it
gonna
up.
stop.
aka
You
Shake.
gonna stop fucking talking to me like that, first off, okay? Second off, peace and love to all the whole tribe out there. What it do? It's your boy Shake. Yeah, I'm here. Hopefully we're gonna have a really great
We
episode
are.
today.
That's
We are.
Talk about it.
All right, and now I'm gonna take it to everyone's favorite number 3, but she was my favorite first. Okay, I got a lot of whatever.
That's
What
big.
should I call it? She's mine. Okay.
A lot of pride.
You may
You got
have
a lot of
had
pride.
her once,
You got a
but
lot of
I
pride.
have her all the time. She's mine, my bestie. Hey, bestie.
Talk about it.
Hey,
What
boo.
up, Lil Mo?
Hey, tribe. It's your girl, Little Mo. You know, I hail from Co-op City,
All
Section
the way.
5.
All the
All
way.
day, every day. Don't ever
What
zone
kind
my
of-
shit.
Won't even think about it.
Don't ever, not never.
Don't never zone my
Never.
shit, ever. What's good, y'all?
Ever.
Ever.
And then I'm gonna take it to the last but not least. Smash, spew God, drip.
Put enough bass on that drip for me.
Yo, you gotta drip, bro. You gotta do the drip at least one time for the year end. I don't think I ever
Yeah,
got
that's
a
what he
drip out of you, bro.
requests.
Can I
I
get a
have to give it
drip,
to
bro?
him.
Please.
Yeah, I drip. I give you drip all day, bro.
Pause, thank you, bro. Pause.
I don't even know where y'all going with this. I
Mm.
don't know where y'all going with this. The
Yo,
drip stop.
what's good,
Drip stop
everybody?
there
It's
though.
your boy,
Okay.
Mash, aka Spew God Drip. Please say the drip. Out here representing South Jamaica, Queens. Only Queens make kings. For those who don't know, Spew is an abbreviation for spreading positive energy wherever. And as a Spew God, it's my job to enrich the lives of everybody I meet. Excited to do this episode. We're trying to purge our souls. You know what I mean? Trying to become perfect
Yes.
beings. You know what I mean? And
Not
TJ
perfect,
gonna
but-
get us where we need to be to make that happen.
Yes, we are gonna get there right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great ass day because I said it was gonna be a great ass day. I won't accept nothing else. Nothing bad will enter my day. Say that shit like you mean it. Howl it.
Rah.
No bad days.
No bad days.
TJ, I love how they saved you from making this a bad day by making sure we remind each other
Yes.
that we have an order
No bad
of
days.
operations to this thing.
Of
Okay.
course.
And
Makes it
tribe, tribe, if you don't have friends reminding you that
Mhm.
you're not supposed to have any bad days,
Mhm.
let us be your friend. Let us be your friend, okay? We
We'll
will
tell you.
remind you not to have
Mhm.
a bad day. And we pray that you don't have a bad day this week. I want you to be reminded of it. Today, we're going to be talking about the orange chakra, also known as the solar plexus chakra.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Is it? Why?
Cause
Oh, sorry, sacral chakra, not solar plexus. Sorry, sacral chakra.
it's still one of my favorites.
Well, you just said that to say it.
I like solar. I like this one. This is the solar plexus one. No.
No, it's sacral
Well,
chakra.
sacral.
So,
Oh.
yeah, it's
Oh, you
orange.
fucked
And
me
the
up.
reason why I chose sacral chakra is because it's responsible for our sexuality.
Mm.
It's responsible for our creativity, but it's also responsible for our emotions. And when I looked up the title of this episode, Pride for 7 Deadly Sins, pride falls under this chakra. And I want to get into why, whatever, in the episode.
Research.
I'll get there. But yeah, I did research because here at Sophisticatedly Ratchet, we're sophisticated, we're ratchet, we
okay.
entertain you, okay?
I like that.
And we also inform you. We want to educate you as well.
Facts.
So
No shake facts. No shake facts.
no shake flags. Also, the word pride, it's an emotion. It falls under the sacral chakra. But I also found that with this chakra, it is largely representative of us having choice. We're at choice for everything. We're at choice for the thoughts that we create. We are at choice for the things that we do. And so I want you to remember, as we're cleansing this chakra, like allow it to balance your thought process. And remember that you're at choice for everything that comes up in your life. How am I going to respond to this? That's a choice. What am I thinking? If it's a negative thought, I have to choose to think a positive thought. Okay.
True.
Some affirmations. Wait, I want to tell you this. So this chakra can be blocked by fear, especially if you're fearing death. And you can, and when you open this chakra, it boosts your creativity. It allows you to manifest whatever you desire and your confidence.
So I bang this when I want to live on the edge a little bit.
If that's what you choose
how'd
to
you
do.
get that?
If that's what you choose to do.
She said that.
If you want to live on the edge, go
She
ahead.
said it gives you courage. So I'm just saying, like, if I'm about to do something crazy, I just bang.
I
this
didn't
shit.
say courage.
Nah,
I
she
said
said
your
courage, bro.
creativity. It allows you to manifest whatever you desire in your creativity.
I misheard that whole shit.
Yeah,
Definitely
sorry.
did, bro.
It's all good.
You heard?
Pay
Okay.
attention.
Sorry.
All right, some affirmations that you can think of as we bang the chakra or throughout the week, so you have no bad days. Creative energy flows through me freely. Flash, you had a question about that. You were like, what does freely mean? And it means without any barriers, without you thinking of any self-doubt. Like whatever comes up for you, that thought came into you for a reason and you get to create it. Another one is I nurture myself emotionally and I take full responsibility for my own happiness.
Yeah, I believe in that.
Okay. Another one is I trust my loved ones and they can trust me. That's a tough one. Yeah. Inspiration is always flowing to me and I act on the great ideas that I receive.
These are facts.
Yeah. I got to tell myself that. I think that's the one that I'm going to write on my mirror for the new year. I get to act on everything that comes to me. We're creative beings, and that's what the sacral chakra is all about. So go ahead, guys. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Take a nice deep breath in and out. No bad days.
That was
Good job. Good
that was
job.
exquisite.
That was good.
Yo, question. I know this is random, but do that when TJ, when you bang it, Do y'all get like reminded of how they used to play like the broadcasting shit on the TV? And shit? Like, I wish
And
they
they
would
have the
play-
colors, the rainbow
Yeah.
colors. Yeah.
I wish they would have played that shit. That's my shit.
No, I don't think of that, but I hear you. I hear you.
I do envision, like, since I have an idea like where the actual locations of the chakras are,
Oh,
I do
did I say
envision
where
like
it
them
is?
opening up. They
Below
said it at
belly
the bottom
button,
of the screen. It's in your belly button.
Okay, yes. So it's underneath your belly button. That's where it is.
Yeah.
That's
I
where
like
your
to think that it's
creativity is,
opening.
your sexuality. Yes. Sorry, go
Right.
ahead, Mesh.
No, it's all good. I would just co-sign that. I like to think that it's opening.
Yes. Okay. Dope. And our next segment, because we're sophisticatedly ratchet, our sophistication takes us over to my boy, my favorite fuck boy. He's gonna educate us right now. With some sophistication.
All right.
Word of the week.
Word of the week.
Word of the week. Word of the week. Word of the week. Word of the week.
All right.
Word of the week.
Ladies and
Hey.
gentlemen. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this week's
laughing?
word of the week, ladies and gentlemen, is hubris. Okay.
Hubris.
I know you guys have heard it in like ancient Greek movies and shit. You probably heard it in 300 or one of them shits. But hubris means, but you never knew what hubris meant. And I'm going to tell you today. Hubris means excessive pride or self-confidence, right? It's a noun, all right? So, someone has to possess this hubris. Someone, you can't say, this person is, you can't say this person is hubris because it's like you have pride. So this person has hubris, all right? Just like pride, it's a noun, all right? So so I would say it's something like this. My uncle's hubris. No, matter of fact, no. Tory Lane. We'll talk about Tory Lane. Tory Lane's hubris is the reason why he's in jail right now.
Facts.
Okay, is that how we can use it?
I like that. Ding. Where's the ding?
Yeah, give me the ding.
Okay.
You're not getting a point right now. Y'all not giving niggas 3 points
No, I mean,
now.
it was a sample. It was a
Okay.
sample. It was a good sample.
This was a sample question. That was a good question.
That was
Can I
definitely-
throw it in there? Can I throw it in there?
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Because of my hubris, I didn't ask for directions and we got lost.
Thanks. There you go.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So, Tribe, we challenge you to use this word throughout the week, throughout your vocabulary moving forward. And
Absolutely.
if you want to play a game with us, you can go ahead and play a game. Every time you hear the word, we get a point. But you can go ahead and drink, sip, eat,
Whatever you got.
play it with your friends.
If you hit us in a DM, we'll send you some burner cards. All right. You hit us
Yes.
Self Ratchet Podcast on Instagram, or you holler us in what we on TikTok too? We everywhere.
Yes.
TJ, you want 30 seconds?
Everywhere.
Let's give TJ
Actually,
30
give my
seconds.
2020. Give my 2020.
Let's get it.
Tribe, thank you for listening to a new episode of Sophisticatedly Ratchet. You can hear us everywhere you hear podcasts. Every Wednesday, we drop new episodes on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon has podcasts. Then you can go ahead and follow us, like Mash said, on IG at So Ratchet Podcast. We're also on TikTok at So Ratchet Podcast. Hit us up, DM us, send us a message. We love to connect with you. Put a comment in there. We are always in the comments, okay?
Reading that shit.
Yes.
Hit
Yes,
us up
we are.
also on Twitter at So Ratchet Pod. We are tweeting.
We're twatting probably.
Twatting.
Yes.
Tweeting.
Tweet, twat, twat.
And we are also on YouTube where you can see our beautiful and handsome faces every week. Go back through the archive if you want. We are at So Ratchet Podcast on YouTube. Hit the like button right now. Hit the subscribe button right now. Hit the follow button right now. Hit the notifications button right now. Tell a friend right now. Share us with the world right now. We are your sophisticatedly ratchet tribe, and thank you for being a part of the tribe.
Yeah, come get this melanin.
Word.
Yes,
Tell a friend to
come get
tell a
all of
friend
it.
to
Come get this
Word.
education. Come get this entertainment. You are
All right.
sophisticatedly ratchet. What does sophisticatedly ratchet mean to you?
Facts.
All
Tell a
right.
friend to tell a friend. We are sophisticatedly ratchet. Let's
We
get it.
are. Yes. All right. So now I can get into the episode. So, like I said, we've been doing a series called 7 Deadly Sins. And I told you the origins are ancient. It goes back to traditions of the Greek, of the Romans, and early Christianity. Pride is one of the one of the 7 deadly sins. Let me tell you what all of the 7 deadly sins are. So it's envy, gluttony, lust, anger, sloth, and pride. I did some research. Okay. So when it said early Christianity, and I was seeing like devils and like angels and stuff like that.
Back when they used to burn people at the stake and shit for being witches. Yeah.
So I did some research and I was like, when I read the Bible, those weren't the sins. It was like, thou shalt not kill and thou shalt not. Those were the sins, right?
Those are commandments. Those are different.
Oh, commandments. My bad. My bad. Yeah,
all good.
I became more spiritual.
There's a lot of rules in the Bible. There's a lot of rules in the Bible.
Don't covet your neighbor's wife.
Yes. So I was like, yo, why is this not in the Bible per se? And then I came across something that said it's actually mentioned in the book of Proverbs, all of these 7 deadly sins. So they don't speak to it very specifically, but it's mentioned in some sort in the book of Proverbs. And what else did I want to share with you guys? And then it also said that these 7 deadly sins are thought of as transgressions, which don't allow you to progress spiritually. So if you have any of these 7 deadly sins, it's saying that you're not going to be able to progress spiritually. And for me, I never even thought that pride was a negative thing, because I've always been taught,
I was just going to say that.
Be
prideful of yourself.
Yes, black pride. What prides do you guys hear of?
Black pride, gay pride.
See, right? And it's and it was like a positive thing. So when I was reading this, I was like, why is that? So let me get to the definition. So the definition, I'm going to start with the whole Greek, Roman, early Christianity pride under the 7 deadly sins. So pride is excessive belief in one's own ability, and it usually interferes with your individual recognition of the grace of God. That was weird to me. I was like, I've never heard a definition like that. I'm going to go on again. It also says pride is known as vanity. I would have never thought that either. Okay. It said it's considered the original and most serious of all the 7 deadly sins.
Pride is
more than lust and gluttony, all that stuff. And then I thought about Kanye West. I'm like, okay, I can see that, you know, like, because I could see him being like this, the extreme. It says it's also the most angelic or demonic. So that kind of ties into the sacral chakra. You're at choice whether you want to be prideful in a positive way or in a negative way. It says it's identified dangerously.
Some people don't know the difference.
As corrupt selfishness and putting one's own desires, urges, wants, whims before the welfare of other people.
I think when I was reading up on it too, it's like, you know, they mentioned that pride is probably where a lot of the other ones kind of stem from, as far as like the sins. Like pride can be seen as like a root of other sins, because when you think about it, pride could, you know, be looked at as like too much love for oneself, and you have to only protect, like, you know, yourself in all and most things. It's just like you putting yourself on this pedestal that nobody can reach. And I guess pride is
I never considered that.
Eye-opening. Go ahead.
That's a really good point, as far as like how pride connects to all the other ones. Like as far as being greedy, right? I pride myself on being. I pride myself on greed. Like I want all the stuff to myself. I pride myself on being lusty. You know,
be honest.
A lot of different ways.
Be honest.
Slippery slope.
Yeah, it's a slippery
slope. And I think, and looking at pride, like it talks about the excessiveness of it.
Yes, so, and that's what makes it the difference.
That's the key. That's the caveat there, because it's excessive, right?
Yeah, we're going to get to that too. So would you guys say that you agree with this definition, this Greek, Roman, early Christianity definition, as it relates to 7 deadly sins?
Yes, absolutely.
I want to, my fault, Jake.
No, I agree with it. But as far as when you were talking about in the Bible, how if you have these sins, it's preventing you from, I guess, reaching your maximum holiness, from getting to that
It
point.
says spiritual progress, but yeah.
Okay. I mean, I feel like everybody has some of these qualities in them, at least a little bit, but I feel like this is a guide to help check those. You know what I mean? You're always gonna have it. It's always gonna be there. These are always gonna be sins that we commit, but this right here is a guide. Well, they tell us about it and they highlight it so we know to now check for these things and try to be a little bit more conscious of of these
That's
things.
the key. So you're not excessive in it, like Mo said, right?
Correct.
I think one of the key things about like the sins is like, one of the things that I take away is that it's helping you become a better person. Like the more mindful you are of these aspects of yourself, it allows you to be able to like, pull it back a little bit. I'm being too prideful. I'm being too lusty. I'm being too greedy, and it's important for us to have those things in place to keep ourselves in check. So I get that 100%.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Flash. You were going to say something?
No, I was just definitely agreeing with Mash. I guess in my mind, it's definitely about when I don't always necessarily go better. I just say like it balances us. So it's making me a balanced person, because I even still feel like going too far to the left of, lust, where I think what the opposite of that is chastity. It's like, I don't want to be out here just not having sex, you know what I'm saying? Or not
there's a
being able to
balance.
sexualize stuff. Yeah. So it's just knowing that I can balance this and live in harmony, at least.
For me, I pick and choose what I want from the definition.
That's not how it works.
I know, and this is what I do. I had a friend tell me that the other day. She was like, "You can't do that. You can't pick and choose what you want." And I'm like, "This is what resonates with me. Like, this is what it means to me."
No, this is pride right now, but go ahead.
That's pride.
That's pride. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
But I also feel like sometimes when things, especially specifically the Bible, I think that stuff was pertinent to that time frame. Is it pertinent to right now for me? I wouldn't say I fully agree with everything in it, but I can say, because I've always seen pride as something positive. So for me to change this thought process, then now that I can see it, it's like, okay, if it's excessive, it's that's how it's bad. So I'll read you guys, now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to share with you guys the Oxford definition, which is more prevalent to today. So it says, feeling a deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, qualities, possessions that are widely admired. Should I read that again?
Yeah, please.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So pride means that you're feeling a deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from your own achievements, qualities, or possessions that are widely admired. So like if you have, you could be prideful of your achievements, your qualities, your possessions, anything that you admire. You could have it's a deep pleasure for those things. That's what pride is.
Right.
So I just did I agree with that 100%. I looked up like you made a really good point, Flash, about chastity. The opposite as far as pride, as far as the heavenly virtues, is humility.
Right.
That makes perfect sense. That the opposite of pride would be humility, which is, the opposite of pride is being able to, well, I got to look it up, see exactly what they say in the heavenly version, because I didn't really see that part. But I can see how it works.
Okay.
Yeah. I love that, though, because humility is definitely like about how seriously you take yourself. Do you have the ability to laugh at yourself or see yourself, not above others,
But I would say the opposite for me would have been like arrogance or something.
Well, pride, being prideful does come with arrogance, though.
That's one and the same.
Move in the same direction.
Yeah.
But even though they say have black pride and gay pride, you think that that's arrogance?
So no, so to a certain degree.
See?
Because how about too much of it? Maybe arrogant.
There's lack of it. That's why we're promoting it. That's why that has become a mantra. There's lack of it, which is why we promote that pride. Because
we know. Look, we know what white pride looks like.
When white people roll around saying white pride, it sounds excessive.
It sounds like dangerous. It sounds dangerous when you hear people say white pride. That's the real truth behind that.
Sounds like arrogance.
Okay. So what's one thing that you take pride in, guys?
Honestly,
Um,
my sex.
Okay, sex.
Yeah.
I take pride.
I take pride
performance.
In. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mo.
In
That
your,
was, I just
in
want
your
to throw that out
performance.
there.
Oh,
And
you
see
said
what
in your
you said.
performance. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, take pride in that.
I guess I would say I take pride that I actually, really get up and work out religiously. Like
You feel like it's which definition? Because that's not excessive to me.
it could be excessive to some people. Could everybody be like, oh, you get up, every day at 5 something to go to the gym.
Are you proud that you work out more than other people? Like, do you see that as a plus to your life? The fact that you're out here and you're getting to it as far as your workout?
I do, because compared to no shade, but compared to a little bit, I'm about to go there. 'Cause compared to some, younger females, that's out here looking how they looking. I be looking all right.
All right,
You do.
Yeah.
You do think.
Get it popping. Get it popping.
Okay.
That's a
And,
fact.
and I feel like that's
So
dope.
would you
That-
say your
that-
physique or your because I feel like going to the gym is like discipline.
Physique, right.
So a
Yeah,
physique
yeah,
or
discipline.
discipline? Or both.
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 I think both. Yeah, discipline
Discipline as well.
definitely. But I think both too. I
Okay.
think both. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think both.
Who else? Shake,
I'll go.
Flash.
Well,
Oh, you want to go Shay?
no, I take pride in my knowledge a lot of times.
Oh,
Even at like
yes.
work and stuff like that. Like when I'm at work, I'm so knowledgeable about shit, and I take pride in being able to like help people, walk people
like
through
that.
things because I know shit. And I've been doing this for so long, but I can see how it can become excessive and shit, or how I can get carried away with it because I might think that, whatever you think doesn't work because I know how it works. But sometimes you got to be able to listen to new ideas, and new ideas may work. And it may be because I know this way, and I'm so proud of the fact that, I know how to get it done like this. It's not to say that your way can't be as good. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So I'll definitely piggyback off of what Mash said. Like, I have penis pride. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Penis
Guys are so
pride.
shallow. Y'all so fucking
No.
shallow.
It's a fact. It's a fact. I ain't gonna lie. It's a fact, bro. I'm
this is
proud.
one of my
I try
prides.
not to go there.
No,
Hey,
but
it
I'm
is
gonna
what
take
it
it
is.
there.
I'm
because
proud
you know
of you,
what it
Shake.
is?
I'm proud of you.
And I'm gonna tell you why, because and going through and researching this episode, I had to be honest with myself. Like, I personally have to believe that the penis I am facilitating out here is better than most men. I have to believe that.
You do have to.
Facts.
You
I have
should.
to. I'm telling you, my pride makes me want to help a woman call me one of her best lovers. So it's something I take pride in because, once again, I study the game. Okay, I read the books. I do the
Okay.
work. You know what I'm saying? I figure it out. So
You
I
get the
take pride in that.
feedback.
Right. So, no, I'm being honest. Like that's really what it is. But and granted, I have other prides. Like I love being black. You know what I'm saying? I love buying black. I love doing things that support black people. I love seeing black men be better black men, balanced black men, whatever the fuck. Like so the things that I care about, that I like doing at a high level, I'm prideful with some of those things. Some of them can be a bit on the toxic side, but I'm honest with myself about those things.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I was gonna say wait, you have something to say, Mash?
Oh, I said sex as a knee-jerk reaction because that's legit. I really feel that way. I take pride in my performance. I take pride in satisfying my partner. I got a lot of practice. You know what I mean? I feel like I've honed my skills, and I feel like,
you a hoe?
I'm leading the league in at least 6 statistical categories right now. I'm out here winning.
Take facts.
You're right. But I feel like I also take pride in my emotional intelligence. I take pride in being able to navigate my feelings and express how I feel without overreacting. I take pride in that. I also take pride in anything that I create. I take pride in this podcast. I take pride in any of my art. Anything that I anything that I grow out the yard from when I'm farming and whatnot. I take great pride in those things. And yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I take pride in being my authentic, true self. And that is, I love being a woman. I love using my sexuality. I love I love being a woman. I really do. I own that shit. I love being Black. I love being a Black woman. I love just being honest. I love loving all my friends, just being who I authentically am without the world and society, whatever they put on me. That's why I like being high sometimes, because it just allows me to just be my authentic, true self, which is loving and kind, and I'm not scared of anything, and I don't feel like somebody's going to attack me, and I have to have guards up and stuff. I love, so I take pride in that. But my definition of pride is just the definition that I feel like I was raised on, which is like, it's a good thing. It wasn't like a bad thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what it is though? And I guess like, oh, you want to go into the next talking point?
No, it's okay. After you say this, we can go to the next one.
No, I just feel like where it does get dangerous though, when you say like it's not a bad thing, I feel like you also have to understand that, you know, someone is better than you in order to kind of check your pride. It doesn't matter what it is. Like you can't just always think like you're the best. You could think like you're better than to a certain degree, but you have to check yourself. You know,
but no comparison though.
Right.
I am the best. I get to be the best me, and nobody else could be me.
And that's fine. But I guess it's when you start giving it the labels of like, well, what are you outside of you? And I agree with you. Like you should be the best you. I think that's a dope thing. But I was reading, and they have this whole thing in Taoism, and they say humility is like the sub-definition of the sub-definition of humility is actually like dare not to be first. So that's kind of what I think about when I'm looking at pride. It's like you don't need to be the first. You just want to be good for you, or as good as you can be, and that's kind of, you know, how you balance it, I guess, for me.
That kind of leads us to the next talking point. So the question is, when does pride become a bad thing? And for me, the first person that I can think of is like a Kanye West. And I love him. Shout out to all my Geminis out there. I feel like one of the downfalls of a lot of Geminis is our ego. And our delivery. We're very passionate about what we're passionate about. And I feel like ego and pride kind of go hand in hand too.
Yeah. Facts, 100%. 100%.
So
yeah, it can. Absolutely.
I feel like if it's not checked, just like you were saying, Flash, that's when it can become a bad thing. When you're not self-aware of how you're impacting others, how it's affecting others, period. That's when it becomes a bad thing for me. What about you guys? When does pride become a bad thing?
No, I was gonna say, I think pride becomes a bad thing when it's, as the definition stated, when it's excessive, where you have no other goal or no other interest because you're solely just focused on yourself and your pride of doing things. So you have no regards for anything or anybody else. That's when I think it's not a good thing.
Okay. Yo, I think it's not a good thing when you have too much pride to do things that are good for you. You know what I'm saying?
Give me an example.
For example, Mash had a sentence that I was too proud to ask for directions, and that's how I ended up getting lost. When you're too proud to do things to, you know, for your like that that will help you, or too proud to ask for help,
100%.
that's a problem.
100%.
That's a problem.
Yes.
And also being taking it back to work as well, talking about these people who get these titles when they get all this pride in this title and that they don't give a fuck about nobody else or their opinions. I used to have this manager, right? Like she would not speak to anybody who wasn't directly below her, right?
Yes.
If you wasn't like a direct report to her, if you report to somebody who's below her, don't talk to me. I'm walking right.
Follow the change of command. Is that what?
I act like I don't even hear what you're saying. But I think that right there was too much. Yeah, that was her being too proud. You know what I'm saying? To just say, because you can talk to people and you can let them know, oh, you know what? Like,
speak to your direct report first.
But go
follow
speak
the chain
to this
of command.
person. But she would do some shit where she would completely like dismiss you and walk right past you like you don't even exist.
Yeah,
like that shit is
people
terrible.
like that.
And there are people like that, and I think that's when pride becomes way too excessive.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. I think pride gets too excessive where you get to the point where nobody can tell you shit, and then also nobody can help you improve, or you feel like nobody can give you information to help you improve on something. So, and you know, it's funny. I feel like we all have this mode that we can step in where it's like, you know, if you dress up, you nice, clean, sharp, whatever, you know, you go out and you like, nobody can tell me shit. Like, you know, I look good, you know, for what I'm
Feel good, I
presenting and what I
smell
have
good.
on you, and
Right.
feeling yourself, you know what I'm saying? And in those moments, it's like you want to have pride, because guess what? Somebody might come and say, like, I don't like that shoes you got on, or I don't like that this shit you got on. And if you're prideful in yourself, or if you're just content with yourself,
Confident.
yeah, you're confident, you're gonna realize, like, no, I can't let this space that somebody's trying to put me in, as far as like them trying to change my perceived knowledge of myself, I'm not gonna let them change that in any way, you know. So
Or your confidence in whatever
right.
you decided to put on, right? Yeah.
Right, because pride, yeah, because pride does play into a lot of people's confidence.
Confidence.
So I always feel like, once again, it's like you can never just be so extreme with it where you feel like nobody could ever tell you shit. Like, but kind of know your self-worth a bit, like study that and know how to empower yourself, whether that's with words, you know, whatever, affirmations, shit. If you want to look good, you look good, but you're doing the things to empower yourself and have some sense of pride. So, like I said, it's all about balancing it for me still.
Balance is key. Mo, you had anything to say, or we can get to?
I was just going to say another part of pride too is even in dangerous situations. And I'm just going to give an example. Like, if you're some people that just like, if you're getting robbed and you don't want to give up your jewelry, your pride is so high at that point, you know, like, I'm just using that as an example. Like, your pride is so high. It's like, you're not even thinking about your life at that point. You're just like, well, I don't want this nigga to run up on me or something like that. That to me is being very prideful at that moment. It's just like, let it go. Yeah, let it go. Your pride.
You could get everybody killed behind that bullshit.
Exactly.
Look,
So
niggas get beat up over
like
pride
that.
every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
So I feel like that kind of tied. Well, that plus what Flash had said about accepting criticism, or you didn't specifically say that, but that was the burner question, and I was like, oh my God, let's go to the burner question. So burner questions are signature to the SR podcast, where we ask you a question and you get to answer yes, no, or sophisticatedly ratchet. And the question, I have two questions. I feel like they were one of the same, but I'm going to ask them two separately. Yes, thank you, Shake, for being my demonstrator. So the first burner question is, do you find it difficult to accept criticism when you've done something wrong? Do you find it difficult to accept criticism when you have done something wrong?
Sometimes.
All right. Unanimous, sophisticatedly ratchet all across the board. Mo, go ahead. What's up? Why sophisticatedly ratchet for you, baby? It's difficult.
I think it's difficult. It's difficult because in that moment you realize, like, damn, I did something wrong. So I think it's you trying to process that you did something wrong. And I'm using myself as an example. And I guess for me, I would be mad at myself in a sense. Like, you know, like, damn, I'm upset at me. So I'm still trying to process that I did something wrong, upset for fucking up. You know what I mean? And then being told that I fucked, you know, that I essentially messed something up. So I'm not even really hearing the person. So I'm still in my feelings at that point. So at that point, it is kind of hard. And you go into fight or flight and trying to defend why you did what you did, or even if it was wrong, or trying to figure out a back way. Well, I was looking at, you know, to try to cover, you know, not cover it up, but fix it up and tie it up in a bow because you messed up. Instead of just, and sometimes, even when I learn at my job, sometimes, even when situations happen like that, I learn just to say less and say two-liners. Thank you. That was a teachable moment. Done.
Yeah,
Done.
we got to be able to accept
Done.
it.
Yeah, it was a teachable moment. Thank
be
you.
accountable.
Moving forward, it'll look different. Or thank you for that. Because
but it is difficult. It is
difficult. Yes. It is.
Yeah. Nah. What was the question exactly?
The question, I wanted to post it. Do you find it difficult to accept criticism when you've done something wrong?
Right.
See, my thing is the word criticism to me just feels like something bad. I feel like they're shunning me. They're like,
how about constructive criticism? If we say that, does that make you feel better?
I feel like constructive criticism could also be perceived as bad as well in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because in the moment that, you know, I fucked up, you know what I'm saying? It feels like now you're just kind of just throwing salt on it. You're throwing salt on my wounds and shit like that. And it may be difficult for me to accept it. But I mean, sometimes I do accept it. If I fucked up and I understand that I fucked up and that and I want to improve and I want to do better next time, I will accept your criticism. But sometimes it may take a little while for me to accept it. It may take a minute for me to kind of like think over what you're saying to me or process what you're saying to me, because, you know, I'm still kind of like upset that it didn't go the way I wanted it to, or something didn't go out the way I wanted it to.
So, gotcha. All right. So I'll say for me, I'm very, I think I used to take criticism a lot harsher back in the days, and I've had to rethink what criticism is for me and how it helps me. I'm more bigger on how criticism is told to me versus
like the delivery of it.
Correct. Yeah, like I need the delivery to be on point, and
like
I
a
say that to
supported
say-
delivery.
Correct. So you know, in my work, I work in web development, of course, and we have this whole work protocol that we do where we have to submit work. It's called a pull request, and the pull request is something that you submit with all the work that you've done and all the code that you may have wrote or whatever the case is, and somebody has to look at it and they have to give you criticism on this piece of work.
Feedback.
So it's feedback and criticism, because what you have to learn is that you don't know everything. You have to be okay with that, the fact that you don't know everything.
Facts.
And there are people who are, you know, in industries or have been doing things longer than you, and you have to be open to always knowing that you can learn from somebody. So in these PRs, you know, people will put corrective statements on there, and some of them are opinions, which is fine, and you're allowed to, you know, I guess go against somebody's opinion if you feel like you have a better strategy about doing something. But at the end of the day, it's like, if you live in this space or you own this space of I don't need to know everything, and the criticism at the end of the day is going to help me become a better, whether it is a developer, worker, whatever you're doing in your craft or whatnot, I feel like, yeah, people need criticism. It's how you improve your work, especially if you're doing things on a high level. If you're a comedian, you need criticism from the crowd. If you're a basketball player, you need criticism from your teammates. You need people who are in your corner telling you, I'm working just as hard as you to make you better at your craft, or a better individual. So I'm definitely supportive in criticism, but once again, it's about the delivery for me. Like, talk to me nice.
Facts. Talk to me nice is right. That I feel the exact same way. For me, it's I want you to deliver constructive criticism, because for me, it's the word criticism is like, oh, you're gonna just attack me, so I don't want to be on defense. I want you to like, but I do want to know if I'm doing something wrong, because I want to check that. I want to make sure that I'm not hurting your feelings. I want to make sure that you know my intentions. I also want to make sure that I'm doing things right if it's professionally. Like I do want to know what I'm not doing right, so that I can do it, better for the next time. So I feel like it's important to have it. I would change the word criticism, and you saw I tried to change it for you, Flash, where I was like, it's feedback. Like I like feedback. It just sounds more positive.
And I was gonna say, even what you just touched base with, I want criticism in my relationships.
Yes.
I don't give a
what
damn
can
if
I
it's
do better?
my sexual relationships and my romantic delivery or whatnot. I need to be open at the fact that I don't know how to love you at your full potential yet. Or I don't know how to fuck you at your full potential yet. And that's okay.
Right.
It's like, but I need criticism. I'm open to this shit.
Yo, Flash, I'm glad you brought up the thing with your job, as far as, how people give criticism, because I'm really thinking about, how people give criticism. I like this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like one of the biggest critics there are out there. I'm a critic bad at work sometimes. Bad critic.
What about your delivery? How's your delivery?
And their stupidity. And that's what I wanted to talk about, how I had to work on my delivery of the criticism.
Yeah, your emotional
because
intelligence.
the way people accept it, you have to understand that certain people, you can't talk to everybody the same way. Some people won't accept it if you say it a certain way. But if you kind of pivot and you make it a little bit more
supportive.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you
I'm
make it
here
a
to
little bit more
support you.
supportive rather than like critiquing them on how dumb or stupid that their idea is, because sometimes their idea is stupid and dumb, but you still can't tell them that. Sometimes it is. Some people have
the way you're
ideas.
and it's also the way you're questioning them. So even if it is stupid or dumb, you can say, okay, so what made you come up? Like, what was your idea surrounding?
Yeah, let me know your thought process, because you want to understand them.
You want to understand it, and then you want to navigate them kind of to the right direction and say, okay, well, moving forward, it should look like this or whatever the case may be.
Exactly.
That comes with time and skills. Definitely. I'm telling you.
Skills. You know what I'm saying?
Skills. You gotta have that skill set.
I know you be finessing it, Mo.
Of course.
I finesse it too. I
finesse it all the time.
Yeah, and you have to come in a very supportive way when you're giving criticism. You always talk, and I've learned this, and I practice this on an everyday, because I know as a Gemini, that's one of my downfalls. It's not how you say it. It's not what you say. It's how you say it. And I get taught that all the time. And I'm 100%. Actively working on myself with that specific thing right there. It's not what you say. It's how you say it. And it depends. Like, if you can say one thing and your message could be so spot on, but people don't hear it because of the way you said it, whether you yelled at it, whether you were
100%.
Like a narcissistic type of tone, or you like a negative tone. It wasn't like supportive. And one thing that they've taught me, or what I do from what I was taught on how to fix it, is start with all the positives. So I'll say, this was great. You did this great. You did this great. However, you could improve on X, Y, Z.
I like that.
Yeah. And I do this with y'all too.
TJ,
if y'all don't remember, I do this with y'all.
TJ, that's why I'm laughing.
You did a great job. However, you were not here the other day.
We only remember the ice.
But TJ, I'm laughing because I'm looking at Shake like we're so different with how we critique our like coworkers versus how we critique each other as friends and shit. Because sometimes, as your friend, I need to be a little bit more candid with you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a little bit harsh. So it's like if I have a stupid idea, and it's okay for me to have a stupid idea. Shake will fucking berate me. Okay,
that's a fucking dumb idea. Like, where the fuck you got that from? Yeah,
that's what Flash would say to Shake.
and I gotta be honest with him too, because I tell him like, nigga, that's a dumb idea.
But he also knows your intention. At work, that wouldn't fly.
Right.
You would be hurt at work. But between friends, we have a different rapport with each other.
Absolutely.
And there's times that when we're serious and it's something that you worked on really hard, or Flash or Shake worked on it really hard, I don't think you guys would tell it to each other in that rude of a way either.
Not
you know? No. So it's a time and place for it.
If I know he put his heart and soul in the shit, I may not call it a piece of shit. But but it depends on how I'm feeling though. Because if he was a dickhead to me, when I put my heart and soul in this shit, I'm gonna tell him it's shit. I'm gonna be a little bit harsh because I want him to know, like, like I told y'all, like, it's like, but let me know, it's fine. I once again am open to all the critique. Like, I love this shit.
Okay.
Nah, but seriously, definitely. It is about delivery. The way you said that though, TJ. Where you would tell them something good that they did and then follow it up with something bad. That's straight out of How to Win Friends and Influence People. That was definitely a chapter.
I read that book.
There was a chapter in that book to start with something like good that they did, and then to follow it up with the way that you can improve is this way right here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's necessary.
And that's not with your friends, that's with your children. Because sometimes people only hear the bad, right? That's with their children, your coworkers, your friends. So it's important. And it also encourages them. Like, I'm not doing everything bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right. So that was one bird question. We have another one. Should I go to that one first? Okay, yes. I want to get ratchet a little bit. I want to get ratchet. It's not a
one story right quick. Can I tell one story right quick?
Okay,
right quick. Okay, I was trying to remember what the story was. So, speaking about somebody who speaks how you don't accept the criticism well, right? When I was in high school, my trigonometry teacher, he was a fucking asshole. Okay. All right. And this is my second time taking trigonometry. The first time I took it, I just decided, because I was dumb, but I decided, when I say dumb, I mean I was doing stupid shit in high school.
Okay.
But
Right.
I felt like I didn't care. I didn't care if I failed this class because I'll take it again or whatever. So I took the class with this dude, and he was an asshole. And he basically was a good teacher, but the problem was I didn't like his delivery on how he critiqued people, why he critiqued me
like Mr.
particularly.
I was gonna say that's what made me say all teachers are like math teachers are like that. But go ahead.
I decided I was not gonna learn in his class. Fuck him. I'm not gonna learn. Stupid as shit. That was pride on my part.
So stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid. Okay. I'm not gonna learn in your class. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I'm so I failed. So needless to say, I failed the class. Right. The next year was my senior year. They gave me the class again with the same nigga, and I'm like, fuck. Damn it, I have to sit here and sit through his shit. Yeah. Yo, I literally sat through his shit now, and I decided that I was gonna let him fuck with me, and I'm gonna accept it, and I'm gonna accept this criticism, and I'm gonna just do better because I gotta get the fuck out of here. At the end of that class, yo, I scored a 99.9 on my trivia.
Wow, look at that.
Wow.
You're a choice, King. You're a choice.
Wow.
99.9 because I decided that I wasn't gonna let him fuck with me. Real talk.
Right.
You are a choice. Sacral chakra.
I love that too because I feel like I had a college teacher. His name was Mr. Cuomo, and they was talking about he was a speech professor, Dr. Cuomo, and everybody was telling me how great his class is in college and whatnot, but I was always like, fuck that. Nah, I don't need nobody to teach me how to speak, nigga. This is me, nigga. I'm gonna just speak how I want type of shit, once again, pride. My hubris to think that somebody can improve how I communicate was blinded. Yeah, me can point myself up. Was blinded by the fact that, I think I had it all together. And, I went to this man's class. Number one, I thought I was going to maybe flunk the class once I saw all this shit that I could learn from him in terms of communication and how to speak to people and different emotions that you emit with how you would, just your speech and shit like that. This is maybe why I'm so big on words of affirmation and shit.
Right.
But just, having somebody help scope the way how I see something I do well, it's always super helpful, Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, shout out to the good professors though.
Yeah. Facts. Shout out to us for even acknowledging some of the things that we've done and seeing how it was a detriment to ourselves. Like, dang, that was my pride. Damn. Okay, now I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
All right, can we get a little ratchet?
Talk about it.
Ratchet?
All
right. When someone strokes your ego, is that a turn on?
All the way. Is this a dirty card question?
No, it's not. Actually, that is a burner question.
No, that's a burner question.
Is it a burner question?
That is it. I didn't even know it was. No. The way I asked it.
Come on, let's talk about it. I'm
gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. Well.
Wait, what's everybody's answers first? When someone
strokes your ego, does it make you feel good?
Yes. Is it a turn on?
Is it a turn on?
Does your pussy get wet? Does it swim? Does it
not all of that?
All inflamed and shit.
I already know what you're going to talk about. You're going to talk about the guy who used to speak words of affirmation to you, and I'm going to tell you, I had somebody that did that.
Forgot about that.
I had somebody who did that as well, who was like,
recently.
No. She's like, I had broke up with her a while ago, but she was like, yo, you're a king. Oh my God, you're so fucking, you're the fucking best. Like nobody's better than you and shit. Like yo, she used to stroke my ego and shit hard, son. She said she would suck my dick mad longer, but
you deserve this shit.
You fucking deserve this shit. Yeah. And that shit used to turn me on so
I want to do that. I love that. Why not? Why not?
I ain't even gonna lie. That shit, like I miss her just for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I need that in my life.
Yo, women who could stroke your ego in sex are like one in my motherfucking book. I definitely get a turn on when women explain to me the thing I take pride in if I'm trying to do it at a high level and they express that to me. So whether she's saying like, "Daddy, this is the best dick I ever had," or "You ain't ever gonna get this good dick up to nobody else," type of shit. I take pride in that, of course, and it does feed into the ego. But look, this is how I check myself, because I always say like, yeah, this is what
You
she's
got
telling
to.
me now. To like the
Right.
and granted, even if I believe that she meant that shit, I still got to understand that there might be another nigga that's gonna fuck her better than me one day, and it's cool.
That's a
I just need to be in her
possibility.
top 3, and I'm cool with
Uh-huh.
that.
Okay, you okay with that?
All
Okay,
right.
you
I'm
settle
okay
with
with top
that?
Top
Okay.
3. Top
Fact.
3.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's
Because sometimes sex is in your
Mm.
head, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she could have been just a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? Like receptive to another dude that fucked her. So it might end up
Mhm.
being a better experience for her. Because it's not necessarily
Mm.
just the sex, it's the entire experience.
Of
You understand what I'm
It
saying?
is.
So you don't necessarily have to be the best, but I want to be in your top 3 at least. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but
So
Okay.
I
that's
get
what I'm
that.
saying. But this is what I'm saying. Like when she strokes my ego and the reactions that I'm seeing from her, the phone calls that you keep getting, she says like, "You're not leaving." She starts doing the things where it's like, "Oh, that shit strokes my ego a little bit," especially when she
Mhm.
kind of get a little possessive. That's an
Mhm.
ego stroke for me. That means
A
like,
little bit.
damn, I'm out
Right.
here. I'm doing something righteous. Like they love it so much. And once again, we use that to feed our egos because we want to feel good about the things that we do. And I take pride in my sex. So it goes hand in hand.
Facts.
Okay.
Mhm.
Mo, what about you, boo? And let me give you an example, because you were like, oh, no, you didn't get it. But like, what if
No,
he's
I
like, oh
got
my
it.
God, you're beautiful. I love your hair. I love your natural hair. I love your curves. I love your energy. I love your spirit. I love how thoughtful you are, how caring you are,
It makes me feel good, but I
That
can't say
pussy
that my
feels so
that my
good
pussy's
wrapped
not
around
gonna
my
get wet.
dick.
Well, that yeah, that's gonna make me feel good.
See?
Yeah, like
Stroking your
yeah,
ego.
it is struck me. I think everybody loves that. That's why I
Yeah.
say yes.
Yeah.
Like naturally, because you're
Yeah.
hearing positive stuff about
Positives.
you, and
Yeah.
Yes.
it's
Positive
hard to. But
reinforcement.
and in all honesty, I know with me sometimes I struggle to hear the positive stuff about, because it's kind of like
Because you
like
don't believe
right,
it.
like you're just saying that. That's how some people are.
Because you don't
You
believe
shut up.
it?
You're
That's a
just saying that.
question. Or you're just trying to be humble? Which
No,
one is it?
I
'Cause
think humble, and I think sometimes sometimes you don't believe it,
So
so then it's like to hear it, yeah,
Mm.
you don't
yeah.
believe it.
Mm.
Go ahead,
Well,
man.
that's
Yeah.
terrible.
So
That
it
might be
is terrible.
hubris. That might be hubris.
Whatever.
Right.
Shit.
Okay.
I think I get it, Stephen. Yo, but you know what fucks me up a little bit though?
Uh-huh.
I like when women stroke my ego, but I feel like when I have sex with women, I'm not always stroking their ego. I feel like it's demeaning sometimes, but I've learned to balance it, which I think is a good thing because
What's demeaning about it? Give me an example of what
Oh
they said
no,
that was demeaning.
he's talking about his Ike shit that he says
yeah,
to
like
women.
how you talk
Yeah.
verbally to somebody. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
he's talking about you love being second best, bitch.
Ru-
You
It's a lot of shit that goes
Oh.
down as far as
Oh
like
wow.
my
yeah, type of shit
hubris,
flash that.
whatever. But no, I do feel like it's weird for me because I want her to tell me like all the good shit I'm doing, and but then again, maybe I do say certain shit because I'd be like, yo, this pussy wet as fuck or some shit like that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
Yeah.
Or
love
I'd be
to
like,
hear
ooh,
that.
girl, look at that wet
Yeah.
bitch you don't put on that dick. Go ahead. So I guess maybe I am
Yeah.
saying things to stroke her ego. I just know like I do mix it in with things that I don't feel like they're stroking the ego, but it turns her on. So,
Flash, you're not
but
stroking the
look,
ego. You're turning
that's
her
what playing to the
on.
humility shit.
Yeah,
Some people like
you turn
the
her on a
humiliated
different
shit.
way. You turn her on a
Right.
different way.
Right.
You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? Like it could be a turn on, but some women also like to be demoralized, and that
Right.
shit turns them on as well. Okay,
No,
it
so
happens
look,
during sex.
so that's probably women having to kind of like lower that pride to, especially if you're what they call them, a submissive women. Submissive women probably have
Yeah.
to be open to saying like, I have to put my pride down because this nigga's about to call me a bitch, a hoe, a slut. He's about to nut on my face. His dick is about to be like how many inches down my throat, and I probably won't be able to breathe for a little bit. And she has to be okay with that shit. She has to understand that all that pedestal shit that she be doing outside the bedroom and shit, like no, women don't swallow. She's nasty in the bedroom though. She's a different person. She has to lower that pride a bit.
Gotcha.
What you think?
That's
Hear me out.
true. That's interesting.
True
That's true
story.
though.
That is very interesting. For me, I do feel like when someone strokes my ego, it's a turn on. It depends on how they're doing it. If it's a sexual way, like, yes, I want you to tell me that, like, you got perfect titties. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to hear that. You have a perfect
Supple.
booty, like you're
Yes.
perfect for me, like shit like that. Like, I love it. It does turn me on. Yeah, it does. I
Yeah,
enjoy
Like
it.
absolutely.
my,
And
I don't know.
and I love to
one
give it. Because it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Why not make you feel good? Because it makes you feel good. Why not?
I've heard it twice from women when women were like really like they really loved the fact that a guy said that their dick was perfect for their vagina, like it fit perfectly.
Oh yes,
like like this shit. Oh my god, it feels like we're a perfect match. Oh
yeah.
Yeah, look at her pussy like, look, we found a perfect match, nigga. Like that shit was meant for us.
It was meant for us.
Yo, I love when women like separate like themselves from the coochie and shit. It's like they trying to be more powerful than the coochie. Like, now you know what you did was wrong. You know, but that wasn't me. That was you. That was you. You did that. You know, they always want to separate themselves from the whole shit.
I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you.
So when someone strokes your ego, is that a turn on for you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's automatic.
Give me the best thing. What's the word? What's the words? Give me a
drip,
sentence.
Drip, drip. Every time y'all niggas say drip, drip, this nigga.
He strokes his ego. It does stroke.
Right, exactly.
Give me something a girl can say that's gonna really turn you all the way on. Like top three.
Top three.
Top three.
I mean, first, this is like the toxic masculine part, but I like being called daddy in the bedroom. I like that does it for me. She don't even have to say nothing, but when she look at me with the fear of God in her eyes, like that's for me. When they look at you, when they looking at you like, nigga, why are you doing this to me? But they be like, really, but in like a happy kind of way, that strokes my ego. And when they start shaking this shit does it for me. That's
cold. It's cold.
It's the nonverbal cues for me that stroke my ego.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot because that means you pay attention.
Yes,
for sure.
Okay. I have another question for you guys.
Okay.
When has your pride ever costed you a relationship? Like your pride allowed it. No, it's not a burner question. This is just a talking point. Or has pride ever cost you? Yes, it could be a burner question. The way it's phrased. Has pride ever cost you a relationship?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Has pride ever cost?
Oh my gosh, is this everybody? Is it a unanimous? Is the second unanimous for the episode?
I think I'm gonna say.
Mo, let's see.
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
Pride is real.
I wasn't gonna say yes.
All right.
Pride is real though.
We are ratchet planet.
Nah, pride is definitely cool.
You need some time to think about why it was a yes for you, Mo, because we'll come to you third.
No, I mean, I could. I was trying to think about it, but I could see how.
How? Give me an example.
With my ex that I was with in high school, and then when he was a year older than me, then I went to college. It was just my pride. Like I just was feeling myself. You know what I mean? And I think that's probably what caused our breakup because I'm like. I don't
need to deal with this bullshit.
Yeah,
like I'm around fly ass
and
niggas
and it wasn't
North Carolina, and they all over me. I got that New York swag.
Like he was a good, he was an overall good dude. But I also felt like, when he was doing his studying too, like like now because he's a year older than me. So now that I'm in college, I'm focusing on me too. But I feel like part of my pride, like even when we was going through it, like I feel like I could have fought for it a little more, but my pride was like, fuck that.
Yeah, that's fact. That's a fact. That's how you lose a relationship real quick.
Same example for me. I mean, I was dating a guy and I felt like he really crossed the line. This is the guy that left me in Colorado. Remember I told you guys he left me, and that's how that was a catalyst to our breakup. And I knew that he never had ever been in love prior to me. So it was like a relationship. We definitely were in love with each other, but I was his first love. There's a difference. You know what I mean? When men have never loved anybody else other than their family, this the first girl that it's giving them that real relationship type of vibe. I think he didn't know how to fix it. Like he didn't know. And I could have been more patient with him. What are you gonna say, Mash?
I don't know if that nigga loved you if he left you in another state.
I think what happened, I mean, I do feel like he loved me. I think that he didn't know how to control his emotions. And I think you learn that as you get older.
That's what it is.
And this
Correct.
is
I don't know if y'all niggas remember. I don't know if y'all never remember, but TJ needed to control her emotions. She's the one who fucking was wilding out. Okay, and that
I
nigga,
wasn't wilding out with him.
he decided that he was putting his foot down and he wasn't taking this shit no more.
Yeah.
He fucking left.
I wasn't toxic with him. I was toxic when I was really, really young, like 16 to 18 or 16. Yeah, maybe 16 to 19. I think those were my toxic eras. But with him, no, I wasn't. I think that he just didn't know how to control his emotions, and I could have been a little bit more compassionate for him. But I felt like he, go ahead.
And it could have been your delivery with certain things too.
Yeah, and the things that I said
that's what you're working on, right?
Triggered him. You know what I mean? And I felt like it was years later, literally, maybe in the past 3 years that we've been talking about it. And he was way back in 2015, 2016. We recently spoke about it. And he was like, yeah, I could have done this. And I was like, I could have done this. And, you know, but we allowed each other to we just allowed our pride to let the relationship go, as opposed to figuring out that, we could work on these things. So I feel like that's definitely
how it be.
pride.
Right.
That's how it be. When I say pride and shit, so when I was on Uber Cruise and shit, right? There was a chick that the affirmation chick that I was talking about, the one that called me a king and she was sucking my dick, and I appreciated her and I loved having sex with her.
She's a legend.
But if she was on that boat, I completely fucking ignored her. I was fucking with other bitches on that boat and I didn't give her no type of time a day.
Did you go with her or she was just there?
No, I wasn't with her. She was there. And
Yo,
I didn't give her no time a day.
Shake, can I ask you a quick question? Do you think she considered? I remember the young lady. Do you think she considers herself to be Caucasian?
No, you talking about the white? You talking about the white girl I was fucking? No, the white girl I was fucking. She's the reason why I ignored the other woman, my Nubian queen.
Oh, I thought the white girl was the affirmation chick.
No,
that's what made me think. Okay, my fault.
No, the white girl was the prize. She was my hubris.
Shay, can I be honest with you, Shay? Yeah, Shay, you need a reality TV show for anytime you on a boat, my nigga. We just need to follow you around. You know, we go to this side of the boat. They're gonna be like, "It's not your baby," and she could run from like one side of the boat to the other.
X-rated.
Like
it was X-rated. It was X-rated. I fucked the chick on the top of the boat, bro. I fucked her on the swing on the top of the boat, bro. The show.
We heard that in our most recent episode, by the way.
So my thing is, So my thing is, like, you know, I didn't give this girl any time of day because, you know, I was so proud of my skill of getting these new chicks and shit that, you know, I didn't pay her any attention. And I felt like it definitely cost me my relationship with her because I know, and she's like one of these woke chicks. So I know she found out I was fucking a white chick. And if she found out I was fucking a white chick, you know, she's cutting me off completely. Yeah. So she cut me off completely and shit. Damn. So my hubris, you know, cost me that relationship. Let's just say that.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 2 points for you. Okay.
2 points.
I feel like pride definitely cost me a relationship, especially, and I'll go back again to me feeling like, you know, my penis power is supposed to, you know, be in control. It's going to lock shit down all the time and shit like that. And I know it came at a time where I was dealing with 2 women, and I was telling them both about one another in the sense of like, you know, I still got this one that I'm fucking over here, and you know, you right here, but it's all good because I'm gonna keep fucking y'all, you know, as long as y'all need or whatever the case is. And there came a sense of pride with that because I think I felt like because I was able to communicate with both of them that, you know, I'm just a dick, and they wanted to be around mainly for that. I didn't think they would just ever get up and leave, you know, whatever the case is. And I guess for me, the one that kind of was getting fed up with the fact that she wasn't being taken as a priority was somebody who I was kind of getting to adore. And I said, you know, like, yo, I could really see something with this woman. And I didn't think she would have left as abrupt as she did because of me having like all this penis pride about, you know, the dick don't keep her around type of shit.
About fucking other chicks and shit.
I thought it was a power in a sense, you know. But when she ended up leaving, like the shit hurt, you know. So And I had to be honest with myself about that. So just knowing that, yeah, your pride can get in the way and like destroy a relationship that can potentially be super great for you.
100%, bro.
100%.
I agree with that 100%.
Go ahead, man.
In terms of in hindsight, when I think about how pride could have cost me a relationship, like I told you, I take a lot of pride in my sex, and I took offense to a relationship that didn't allow me to like express myself sexually. I felt like you should want this. Like I had so much pride in my performance in terms of like sex. The fact that it wasn't reciprocated or received, I was like, how dare you? How dare you?
What was it? She wasn't open to like a certain position, or
I just don't feel like she was willing to. I didn't feel like she was willing to meet me where I needed her to meet me sexually wise, like consistency wise. Like I had a certain standard of how frequency or, you know, like intimacy and things like that, you know, and I take a lot of pride in that. And I think that acknowledging that she wasn't making the changes that I needed quick enough. That's why the relationship ended for me. Because of that, I think that was a big part of it. In hindsight, I feel like I was being really selfish. But I'm all right with that now. You know, I was being really selfish about what I wanted from the relationship. And I wanted more sexually. And that was a big part of it, I think.
How could you have handled that differently now?
It's not about how I could have handled it. I could have waited around longer, but I don't think that would have been good for me. Like,
would you have had a conversation with her about it though? Like, did you have a conversation?
No, we had multiple
really?
conversations for sure. Like we worked on trying to address it, but you know how you talk to somebody about something and they hear you, but no action is taken after you say something about it.
You gotta leave. Yeah.
So you give yourself a grace period. You're like, all right, I'm gonna try to see if there's any changes, and if there are no changes, at some point in time, you have to make a stand. Like
facts.
And that's what it was for me in that instance. So that's my answer to that one. I'm complete.
Okay. I have another burner question card.
I got a lot of
questions. Okay, and this is going to be our last burner question. Do you find it difficult to confess when you have done something wrong?
No.
This is being accountable. Do you find it difficult? All right, Mo, what do you say? So Shake says nah. I say nah.
No, Shake said sophisticated.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see who that was. Sorry. So Mash says nah. I say nah. Two Sophisticatedly Ratchets by Mo and Shake, and Flash says yes.
Yep.
So
100%.
Flash, why don't you go first?
100% yes for that nigga.
Why is it difficult for you to be honest and be accountable and just say I've done something wrong?
When you're wrong,
because nobody's ever 100% honest, and niggas know nobody. And niggas
so
do
you want to
wrong.
be like everybody else? You can't be yourself. You
No,
can't be Flash the philosopher.
No, what I'm saying is I don't perceive myself to not be able. I know I'm able to still be wrong about shit, and I know there's going to be situations. Yeah, I know there's going to be situations that I'm going to put myself in that I'm not going to admit to shit. And I have to be honest about that, because I have a level of humility and all this other shit. And I don't necessarily want a lot of shame anyway. You know, I'm open to certain things not shaming me. But at the end of the day, I know I'm not this 100% truth teller all the time. I still got some shit to lie about, you know, or not confess about and shit. And I have to be honest.
Those two things aren't the same though, gang. I feel like you finding it difficult to confess is not the same as
it is. So when I think difficult to confess, I'm not all right. So maybe it's still a lie, because what are you hiding?
Let me give you an example. You say the sky is blue. You say the sky is green. I say the sky is blue. You're wrong, but it's hard for you to be like, you know what? You're right, Mash. I'm wrong. You would make an argument, be like, you know, but it's only green to me because of the way the ocean is at a 90-degree angle and the sun is hitting it. You know what I mean? So I'm right, you wrong, Mash. That's what I mean. That's what comes to mind for me when I see the question: is it difficult for you to confess when you've done something wrong?
Facts.
And I guess you're looking at it at a lighter level. I'm looking at it as when you've done something wrong and you just maybe there's no that conversation is not there. Maybe you want to just confess, just to confess. But some of us don't confess right away until like we're pressured to confess about something.
Yeah, I don't think it's about confessing and shit, about being wrong. Sometimes you truly don't think you're wrong. Right. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you truly have to literally like really listen to what you're not listening to what the other person is saying. So it's harder for you to accept the fact that you're wrong. So you're going to continue to go with the fact that I'm right about this. Fuck that.
Let me prove it.
I'm right about this shit until you figure out that you're wrong. Okay.
Right.
And then maybe now it's easier for you to accept. You're not going to sit there and lie about it, but people can tell you you're wrong and you don't perceive yourself as wrong. So you continue to say you're right. Like even when I say the sky is green, I can still see the sky is green. Right. So if you think I'm lying about it, I'm not confessing anything. I'm not lying about it either. This is my perception.
You're so deep into your belief. You're so deep into your belief.
This is what I see.
Right.
And then eventually it comes to be like, oh shit, he was right. The sky is fucking blue.
But you may not say that shit to him. You ain't gonna tell him
now,
you right.
Is it difficult for me to
it's up for you to say the nigga was right?
It may be difficult for me to go over there and tell him that he was right. And I'm not saying that I won't. I'm just saying it's difficult. All right. It is difficult, but it's I would do it. I would go to him and be like, yo, you was right about the sky being blue. You know what I mean? Like, but like at the time I perceived it as I was not wrong.
Well, that's kind of different. Like if everyone has their own interpretation to everything, and so it's really important for us to understand each other with their interpretation. And so I think after I understand your interpretation and you understand my interpretation, it's okay. We can agree to disagree. No one's right or no one's wrong. Like this is why I feel like it was green. It was green. There's sometimes the sky is pink. It's purple. It's not always blue. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on my interpretation of it. And it's important for the other person to understand where I'm coming from. But I feel like when I'm actually wrong, like if I missaid something, I don't want it to be difficult for me to just be like, yo, my bad. That's the old me was like that. The new reformed with wisdom, TJ, is like, my bad. Yeah, like I get to be accountable for that. I didn't get that. And I'll give my explanation, my rationale, my whole interpretation. I want to make sure that you understand where I was coming from and be like, my bad. Because it's so important to be accountable for everything. And shadow work that I've been doing, Mo and I put my closest people through this like workshop where it's really for you to be accountable for everything. Even the things that you thought people did against you, you know, you don't get to hold on to it. For me, like I have a lot of trauma from growing up in an abusive household, and I used to be abusive to other people, and that's not okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I get to leave that with them. And, you know, like my parents did what they did, and I don't get to hold on to that and carry that in my shit. So I get to be accountable for the shit that comes up for me. I get to be accountable for my own actions and not blaming it on my trauma or blaming it on this extra other shit over there. So the new me, no, I'm not.
TJ,
it's not difficult for me.
I listened to an old episode and shit, and I heard it was part of the episode where you was like, you had ordered a bunch of porno and then you blamed it on your cousin and shit. That was fucked up.
I hope he didn't listen to that.
Matt.
You never confessed.
I didn't. That was the younger TJ. I said that.
Exactly.
New, wise.
You was abusing people. You were really abusing people back then.
But TJ, this is what I'm saying, because when you do something like that, I feel like niggas, as long as you feel justified in what you're doing, even if that shit is wrong, like you're not just gonna straight out come out and confess as you're doing like your wrong shit, like you should. And I just feel like that's a lot of people. So, you know, I'm just honest with myself about it. Like I'm not justified in everything that I do. I still know like I do shit that I don't always approve of. And
you don't always cop out to. You won't always
not right away. Not right away.
No, not at all. There's a lot of shit that you will never go tell the person that you were wrong. No, TJ. I may never tell a person that I was wrong. I ain't even gonna lie. I may never go back and tell this person that I was wrong because I hate this person so much. Okay, it might be a situation, or let's say even in relationships, right? Let's say it's a relationship where you had this argument and shit, and you're arguing with this person, and you guys are going back and forth. You did some fucked up shit, and you're never gonna admit to the fucked up shit you did, because now you have to actually go to this person and tell them that I did this fucked up shit.
So TJ, I'll tell you this: I challenge you to be wrong. That don't challenge me to want to be right in everything I do. I challenge people to say, like, let me look at something from a different perspective that wasn't necessarily my own. And sometimes I got to question the shit that I do, and I have to constantly evaluate, like, was this right or was this wrong? And we still take the wrong route sometimes. I just feel like you got to be honest about that shit.
Yeah, so if you're honest,
somebody pick Mash.
I know you have a lot, so I'm gonna just let you go, Mash. Go ahead. You was trying.
The one who said yes, he's honest all the time. Go ahead.
All the time.
I never said I'm honest all the time. The question was, do you confess when you've done something wrong? And I think that it's very important for you to acknowledge when you're wrong so that you can grow. I feel like that's a sign of maturity. You need to be
emotional intelligence.
You need to be able to address those things so you can grow as an individual. Even if it's like your pride is keeping you from being able to confess how you really feel genuinely about the experience. You got to put that in check, Flash.
No, you're not hearing me. No, my shit is in check.
Mash,
I said challenge yourself to be wrong.
Your shit is not in check. Your shit is not in check if you're not willing to be honest about what happened. Like if you're wrong about something, that's a sign of growth to say, you know what, I was wrong. I fucked up. Thank you for putting me on to what this is. My perspective has changed now. That's maturity. I think that's important.
And this is what, and I agree with you. I'm just saying we all have maturing to do, meaning that we're still going to make wrong decisions. This is all I'm saying. We're still going to make wrong decisions for ourselves. I don't care whether it's, you ate certain shit, in the worst way, or you was, like I said, I can get deep on the shit, but I just feel like we're going to continue to make wrong choices and learn from them. And I feel like that's where you get growth.
My question is, do you have to be honest with the other person about about you being wrong?
I think you should. Like it makes the other person feel good.
Or does growth just come from you just being honest with yourself? Because sometimes I may not have to tell this other person I was wrong. I mean, for me to understand that, I was wrong in that situation.
Our question.
And it doesn't always happen when you go back and tell that other person that
No. I agree with you 100%. I think that's I think that at the end of
Can I ask?
I want to answer Shake's his question.
Go ahead.
So I think that's an individual battle, right? Again, that's associated with maturity, right? Because if our relationship is affected by this difference of opinion that we have, if I care about the relationship, of course I'm gonna address it. Of course I'm gonna come to you and say, "Yo, I was on." But if I don't give a fuck, and I had this lesson that I learned on my own, and I don't need to go back to this person, I'm not going to. But it all depends on the relationship to me. Sorry, guys.
It does.
Right.
No, I just be feeling like niggas. I be truthful as shit to myself. I don't feel like. So you mean to tell me y'all confess, or how quickly do y'all confess to something that you do wrong?
I mean, if I was speeding and shit and the cop pulled me over, I'm denying.
You say you speeding right away? What did you caught me doing there, sir?
But I learned that when you're accountable and you be honest with the cops, sometimes they actually give you a lie.
No. Never be honest. All right, tribe, we're gonna redact that statement by TJ. You never tell cops the truth. You never.
You got power back.
Never talk to 12, bro.
Never tell fuzz the truth. They are not your fucking.
No, you're right about that. They are lying. You're right about that.
Because when I think about that too, I think about you could see somebody doing wrong in their relationships. Does that mean that you go out there and you start, snitching to the next person like, yo, they being done wrong? Because does that make you a bad person if you don't do that
different.
shit?
That's different.
I don't think it's different.
Because you a snitch. You a snitch in this situation.
We're not talking about.
Nobody talking about snitching. Talking about you acknowledging your wrongs and then expressing how wrong you were in that situation.
Right.
Now you pointing out people saying, look what he doing.
Look at him.
Yeah, that's an Aquarius thing for sure.
I don't read the question like that.
She keep throwing that shit on your sign, bro. She keep throwing mad dirt on your sign.
No,
bro.
I recently was dating an Aquarius, so I'm seeing it.
No, I'm telling you, man. Everybody, look, I ain't gonna say shit.
I feel like
niggas got skeletons in the closet and shit, and dirt that niggas will never fucking preach on their motherfucking.
You don't have to. You don't
and
have
I know
to.
this
but
is what
like
I'm
Mash
saying.
said, he said it depends on the relationship. You don't always have to confess.
I'm not saying you have to
somebody, but at least you know that you were wrong for your growth. You don't have to go back to the person, but it is also sometimes nice as the other person to hear somebody say, yo, I was actually fucked up. I was wrong. My ex-boyfriend, I recently spoke to him during Christmas and we dated when I was in college. And I was like, yo, nigga, I listened to every voicemail. I had the code to your voicemail. So I listened to everything that chick put on your phone and I knew everything. And I still watched you lie to me. And he was like, I'm so sorry. I was wrong.
Right.
And I'm so sorry about that. And it made me feel good. Because it was like people gaslight you sometimes.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? To make you feel like it wasn't them or whatever. And you start to believe that and you carry that on. It becomes trauma. You start to carry that throughout your life in different situations. And so it's nice for someone to come back and be like, yo, I'm so sorry I did that.
I wasn't bugging.
Yeah.
I
and then you can say that. Yeah. And then you can feel like, yo,
wasn't bugging.
Yeah,
he was. Yeah, when you thought I was at that chick house, when I didn't pick up the phone that time,
when I thought you didn't have proof, when I thought you was believing my lie, you right, my bad. You got
everybody confessing. Everybody confessing.
You was right.
I know.
All right, tribe. All right, so I'm gonna close out the episode with that. Thank you guys for being honest and sophisticated and ratchet.
And lying too. Shit.
Facts and lying and being okay with being wrong. Or not being okay with being wrong, Flash?
No, I'm okay with being wrong. I said I'm okay with being wrong.
Okay with being wrong. It's hard to confess it.
I won the word of the day challenge.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why me and Shake said sophisticatedly ratchet.
Wait, Mo, did you go?
Exactly. Yeah,
I didn't, but it's okay.
Go ahead. No, go, Mo.
Yeah.
You don't. Go ahead.
We can wrap it up. I said sophisticatedly ratchet too because because for some people it's hard to initially confess. You know what I mean? Because you're wrong. It's 100%. Not easy for people to be wrong. You know, we could sit here and act like immediately people is going to be like, "Oh, I was wrong." To me,
no, it doesn't feel
you need
good,
to process
but
it.
You still got to do it.
You know, you got to process. So I said sophisticatedly ratchet because it takes time to process. Like, damn, I was wrong, and then you got to formulate, how to come back around to tell the person, like, you know what, I was wrong. So you sit with it. You sit with it for a while. At least that's how I feel before you just come out and confess that you've done something wrong, you know, because you have to try to figure out, okay, how am I going to inform them that I did this wrong? Even if it's something at your job.
I mean,
what if they bring it up in a relationship?
If they bring it up, it depends on it depends on the situation and what they're bringing up to me. Then it's at that point you could be like, you know what, I didn't even realize, but I was wrong. You know, because right there you can't do anything. It's like, you know what, I was wrong. If they bring it up to me, you know what, I didn't even. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was wrong. And I apologize.
And is that difficult for you? Is it difficult for you to confess that?
No, that is not. No, that's not
I'm
difficult. Because the person's bringing it up to you at that point, it's like you just got to sit with it. But for you to just naturally come out and just going to confess it, no. I think.
So,
well, that's how I felt.
I think it's difficult.
Like if somebody brings it up to you.
Yes, if somebody brings it up to you, I think that's different. Yeah, if somebody brings it up to you,
mm-hmm.
and it depends on what they're bringing to you. At that point, it's kind of like, yeah, you just you got to own it. They're bringing it to your attention, so it's like, you know what, I was wrong for that. I was wrong for that. I'm acknowledging that you're bringing it to my attention, and I'm gonna work on that or whatever you're gonna do after that because they're bringing it to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but right. I know the question said, is it difficult to confess something? And
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yo,
go ahead,
but you know what? At the end of the day, I don't think every time you're wrong deserves an apology. It's what it is.
Right.
Like,
sometimes it depends on.
It doesn't deserve an apology every time.
Oh my god.
Sometimes you're wrong. Okay, I was wrong. Whatever. It doesn't.
But it depends.
It doesn't deserve.
No, I agree. No, I agree because remember, TJ, it was a situation too. Like, and we could be wrong and strong, and I'm gonna ride on your bag wagon too. We talked about that with the school situation. Like, I don't care. We still, but are we gonna apologize for that? No. Like it is what it is.
Yeah, because like Max said, it depends on the relationship. It depends on if it doesn't matter to you. Like, no, I'm not gonna circle back around to apologize to you. I'm good.
Yeah, actually, that's a whole nother can of worms. Maybe we should have a episode called "I'm Sorry" because I have real
facts,
strong feelings about people apologizing, being accountable. So it is so important. Yeah, all right. Thank you. That's the next episode coming up.
Do your 2020.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. Yes. That's the episode title. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry.
Not sorry.
Facts. Right. All right, guys. You guys, thank you for listening to the full episode of Pride Under the 7 Deadly Sins. Yes. We are Sophisticatedly Ratchet. You are Sophisticatedly Ratchet. Thank you for being a part of the tribe. You can hear us everywhere you hear podcasts. We're on every platform: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Amazon has Podcast. Then you can go ahead and check us out on social media. Hit us up in the DM. Hit us up in the comments. Like our stuff. You can hit us up on IG at So Ratchet Podcast, on TikTok at So Ratchet Podcast, on Twitter at So Ratchet Pod, and you can see our beautiful and handsome faces on YouTube at So Ratchet Space Podcast. Hit the like button right now. Hit the follow button right now. Hit the notification button right now. Share us with a friend. Share our episodes. Share our posts.
Tell a friend.
Yeah.
Tell a friend. You tell a friend with our podcast.
And check your pride. Check your pride, tribe.
Also,
it's okay.
Also, who won the word of the day?
Okay, yes.
We don't got to talk about that.
It was Shake.
I believe Shake won. Shake won.
All right,
Shake you win.
Just to
shake. Everybody can have a drink just for that. Check your pride and no bad days. That's about it. Love you, tribe.
Love you, tribe. Thanks for listening.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.
So.